Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches Series 11. I'm also going to be combining this with the Leftovers to Layout series that's happening all April long. Today it is day 16 that I am using sketch, and this is by T. Kaheki, and she is Document Aloha over on Instagram. I loved the idea of this sketch using 2 photos and a bunch of different pattern papers. And I felt like it would be such a great way to combine with this April series that we are doing, which is using up old collections or scraps or whatever, your leftovers, and creating layouts with them and getting that used up, which falls right along with the theme of Moira and I trying to use up our stash this year and kind of being on our spending freeze. So I pulled out Wild Asparagus. It is a My Mind's Eye collection, and I bought it with every intention of using it up. I created one layout with it when I first got it, and then that was it. I haven't touched it since. My problem is that there's no crisp, clear, white, clean white in the collection, and so I find it really hard to work with. So my plan is to pull in some white. So I pulled in just some white cardstock, and we're going to use this collection, and I'm going to be using 3 photos from Easter of last year to get this layout started and created. It's going to look a little bit different than the sketch because I'm already using different photos than the sketch is calling for, and I'm just going to take some nods to the sketch, and then I'm going to just kind of do my own thing with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim out this really awesome gingham paper. I'm going to create it so that I can have that, like I said, that crisp white as a border. It just, I don't know, for me, it just makes it look a little bit more modern. I don't know. I really don't know what it is about these collections that bother me. But I have this one, which is Wild Asparagus, and I have another collection that we will talk about this month because I pulled it as well to use, and it's got the same problem. There's just not that crisp white in it, and so I just tend to avoid it. And we're not going to avoid it this month. We're going to use it. And before I forget and talk more about the sketch and what I'm doing here, the Leftovers to Layout series is by Kristen, who is scrapping on the fly. So if you are interested and you want more details and what even made her think about this and doing it, make sure you head on over to her channel and see what she's doing this month and all of her great plans. So I'll have her linked down below. Okay, so how am I working with this sketch and going to make it work? What I took from it was this idea of the bottom strip that had that really kind of nice 3-inch thick piece. And then instead of stacking on top and keep going, I actually took just a little tiny piece. It's probably like a border strip width. It's not very big. I'm going to put that right down in the middle. And then I'm going to put my photos with the one of Jackson up on some fun foam, and then the other 2 tucked underneath. And honestly, that's how I took the sketch. That's all I did with it. I didn't look at it again. I then just went ahead and worked with what I had to make it work. But it is okay to do things like that. And we talked about it a lot last month when I was sharing the sketches and everyone's amazing takes on them, that it doesn't matter. All you have to do is be inspired by one piece, one thing, and go with it. You don't have to use the sketch and follow it exactly. You can, and it's totally fine to do that because they're created for you to use in any way you want. But you don't always have to. And this is an example of me wanting to make these photos work and this paperwork and this collection work. And for me, this was the best way to go ahead and go about that. The other thing I did here to help me with my problem with it, not with it being more of a, creamy kind of tone there, is I also framed each one of my photos with that white cardstock. So you saw me gut it and then use it to frame each photo. Then use different colors on each one, so there's a bit of color. This is Easter, so it can have lots of color to it. Easter is always so full of color. My kids all have different colored shirts on. Their Easter baskets are all different, and they're very bright Easter baskets. So it was fine to have different colors. I am trying to find a way to add a few of these florals in it. Yeah, I don't love these florals. I'm a floral person, but I did struggle getting them on. I do end up thankfully getting two of them on though. And then I'm gonna just make a little feature up at the top, like you see me working on there, to have just a little extra up there. Almost a visual triangle, not quite, but I almost have a visual triangle going on. So it just drew your eye up there so it doesn't look like it's so bottom heavy, which was what my original plan is. But I got kind of frustrated, so I went off camera to make it all work. And I'll move my title that says Easter. I have to fix those B's into E's, which I'll do. And I just put it down at the bottom. It made me the happiest with how it looked down there. And then pretty much that's it. I find I do end up adding a bunny that I forget to show where I added it, but you'll see it in the final layout, just to give that little nod. And it was just last year's. This was them actually getting their Easter baskets and me just taking photos of them. So this is kind of the first thing that we did Easter morning. We then go and do Easter egg hunts. And I have two really cute photos of Nora and Barrett being funny little bunnies that I'll document, and they'll all be in this fun little series that will be in my album, which will be exciting. So there you can see me just finishing up, doing those little finishing touches. I'm also going to go ahead with a black pen and outline between the white and the pattern paper on both my photos and the border. Because I use that happy and black, having that black pen trace around it just helps tie it all in, which makes me happy. I added some frame. That was a frame that was a part of the chipboard, just to, again, use some stuff up. We're trying to use this collection up because once I finish this month and I've done the layouts I can do with it, I think I'm going to call it done and not buy creamed collections again. So here is a look at my finished layout. Please make sure you check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon with another layout. Thanks for stopping by.